A flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you very much. And welcome. This is the regular meeting that we had a canceled meeting on the 6th, so this is to cover for our canceled meeting. And right now, Commissioners Sheridan and Jackson are on Zoom. Do we have approval of the agenda? Do you have any additions or any changes that you would like?
No, I'll make a motion to approve the
Hi,
agenda.
John. I second that motion.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, so moved. We have consent agenda items, and that was the approval of the regular meeting minutes for August 7th and the special meeting minutes for August 24th. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I will make a motion to approve both meeting minutes.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 So moved. Now, action item A, which is to approve the use of the digital signatures as needed on all documents approved at this meeting. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve digital signatures for this meeting, September 13th, 2003.
Do I hear a second?
And I'll second that. Yes, I'll second that motion.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 So moved. Okay, Commissioner reports. Who'd like to go first?
Oh, I'll
I'll
go
go.
first.
Way to go, John. Thank you.
Okay, so on the 7th of August, was the regular meet there with Port of Allyn, and then the 17th, I attended the Economic Development Council gathering. With my wife and I went to that, which is really wonderful. And then on the 24th, we all as a commission did on the 24th of August did the workshop meet. That was a productive time for me. So that was my report for August.
Okay, Ted?
Yes, I wasn't able to attend. I did attend the general meeting. I wasn't able to attend the EDC meeting, but my staff from United Way went and said it was a wonderful time. We did a special meeting. We did PR TPO, and I hope that the executive director sent out what the PTO list is for this year. It's pretty interesting with our transportation plans. And then, I think both commissioners know I've been working with the Salmon Enhancement Group, and they got a lot of tread going on. They're doing some wonderful work, and I got to hand it to a couple of people over there. So you may hear some things. We're talking about net pins to raise salmon. We're talking about education going on in North Basin School District, where they received a grant for educator for biology studies for fisheries. And so we may see a marine biology class up in North Mason High School, which would be wonderful. And I just got to say, it's all because of this work that this group has been doing. And then the other thing I've been doing is I still need to talk to the executive director with this person, a grant writer, is working on digital equity for North Mason County. And if you haven't experienced a blackout in your Wi-Fi or your internet in the last couple of weeks, we've experienced up here in Lakeland Village where it's been a day of nothing. And even with Verizon, CenturyLink, AT&T, we can't even get a phone call out, where it's just horrible. So I've been working on that with one of our county commissioners who's been outstanding in trying to get technology into Mason County. So those things, those are on my time, but I just want to let the other two commissioners know that there's some things that the Port of Allyn can do, and I think we can do a lot. And I need to sit down with you, Larry, and we'll talk about some grant writing stuff, but great things going on. I'm not going to say anything negative, except I don't like when I'm watching a football game or a baseball game, my internet goes out.
I did send out the stuff you sent from PRPTO. It was a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
but I did send it to everybody.
Yeah, I
Great.
got it.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's quite a list, and I thought I printed it out so we could kind of share what some of that was, but I can't find it, but pretty important stuff. It's great. Thank you for doing the work there, Ted. I appreciate it, and keeping us up on that.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, of course, I did the August 7th regular meeting. August 10th, I did the Economic Development regular meeting. I'm going to see if I can get Jennifer Berea to come and visit with us in October, I hope. We have an invoice from them, by the way, but she can keep us up to date on the recompete information, about the grants and what we can do and how we can partner with them a little more. They are looking for recompete support letters, so that's something that, Larry, I'll try to get back to you on that so we can get a support letter
Okay.
to them. We can kind of go from there. And then August, and of course, again, August 24th, our special meeting, our workshop. I thought that really went well as well. We got a lot done to talk about our scheme of harbor improvements. That's pretty critical. Keep that up to date. And August 28th, Larry and I went to the county commissioners to change the ARPA funding. Thank you to the county commissioners and staff for helping us to get that done. And then September 3rd, I met with Tremont Builders. We're going to try to get the windows all done in the Oyster House. So it's working. Hopefully we'll see some changes in the next month. Okay, Travis just walked out, so here he comes. Travis is next. I'll go ahead and put him up next. Hey, Travis, you're on.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Forgot my cheat sheet.
Okay.
Travis Merrill, Port of Allyn Security. I suppose we've ran into a vessel finally that decided to come back and moor with us that owed us money.
Oh.
And no communication. The numbers on the boat are very hard to identify. And so we have now found that DNR has a new way of dealing with these derelict vessels. And we've got it posted on their website and gone through all the steps to take possession of it. It's not a great vessel, but it doesn't seem to be holding water, so that's a good start.
Okay.
Other than that, pretty calm, other than a few incidents with somebody that's been using the dock down there in the North Shore to get back and forth from their moored vessel that they appear to be living on.
Okay. Are you able to have contact with them? Or?
No, I suppose contact with them is pretty hard when they claim to be a Fed when I talk to them. They don't have to answer my questions. So.
They claim to be a what?
A Fed. I'm a Fed, and I don't have to do anything you tell me. And it's not dark yet. You can't tell me you owe me money, or you owe us money.
Thanks,
And
Travis.
an older,
I-
an older gentleman and maybe his son or some other family member that's living on one of the vessels that's anchored offshore, there at the North Shore. So, just completely out of our
Jurisdiction.
jurisdiction, yeah.
Okay,
So, I mean, it's not like he was violent or anything. He just was obstinate. And yeah, I think we're pretty much really close to taking possession of that blue monkey. I think it's been the 29th was the first day we posted. So,
okay.
well, we'll deal with it as it comes. It's not in danger of sinking or anything. So, other than that, everything's been pretty quiet.
Good. Any questions?
Well, good job, Travis, and stay safe. You know, your contact.
Yeah, I mean, I had a small incident that was for this month here. A gentleman was parked down here around 10:30 at night with their truck and trailer, and he was having a loud speaker phone conversation on the tongue of his trailer.
Oh,
And I just asked him to, can't really do that at this time of night. We have neighbors here that, you could be bothering. And, he just kind of gave me the impression that it didn't matter what I said, he wasn't going to listen to anything I had to say. So I just walk away from those situations. I pull off where they can still see me, but I have quite a distance from them. Mm-hmm. And generally,
Okay.
they move along within a few minutes after seeing, oh, he's probably calling the police, which I'm not at that point. I'm just giving them time.
No, good. Yeah, good job. Just keeping that presence of that physical presence, and then removing yourself, and then that's exactly how to handle that. So good job.
thank you, Travis.
Yeah, thank you.
One other question, Travis, I hope my wife and I will be attending, is the Oktoberfest, and maybe, I will be attending, so we probably need to announce it if other commissioners are going to attend at the Port of Allyn. Do we have a commitment from the Sheriff's Department, Larry, you would know, that we'd have some security there? I mean, there's going to be alcohol served and
I haven't talked to them because, Oktoberfest is not our event. That's up to the CA, but I'll check on it.
okay, it's on the port property, that's what I was concerned about.
No, I'll check on it.
I think it's a great event, I'm just concerned, so,
Yeah, no, I'll let you know what I find out.
thank you.
Good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Travis. Okay, next on the agenda is our executive director's report. Larry?
Okay. Financial issues, all good news here. Revenues are performing as expected, the water system continues to do well, and the gazebo is rented every weekend in September, which is somewhat unusual.
Great.
Our new contractor's taken over the bookkeeping tasks as of September 1, and we've worked out a tentative process to get her the material she needs from us and vice versa. We'll also begin the budgeting process with her using Springbrook for the first time next month. Also, we've paid the Foster Garvey account off and made the first payment toward paying back the line of credit we established for that, for paying legal fees. We'll also be paying the capital fund line of credit down to zero shortly as well. We owe $10,000 on that, and I will be turning in reimbursements to Commerce that exceed that amount as well. Water system issues. As you know, our primary goal at this juncture is to get approval to use the grant money to acquire Jeff Carey's system, including the well and the lots comprising the sanitary area around it. Ecology got back with us last week with some additional questions that our consultant has responded to, so we're now waiting for their answer again. Our original goal was to wrap this up by Labor Day, which obviously didn't happen. But depending on 3 state agency approval timelines, Ecology, Health, and Commerce is always problematic. However, since this is going to go into October, we will reapply for the Department of Health consolidation loan for part of the purchase price. It forgives 50% of the purchase price once the consolidation is approved. And we will need that money to make all this work. We're originally going to have Jeff build the booster pump system before we close the deal, because he isn't bound by prevailing wage, which we are, and he could build it a lot cheaper. We would have then just added that cost to the final purchase price. However, after meeting with our engineer last week and discussing this, Jeff and Debbie and I all met with him. We might also trip a couple of Department of Health regulations, which could still make this legal but delay closing. Since we're under a timeline for the ARPA funds, we should forego the booster system and build it after closing. Yes, we'll have to pay prevailing wage, but the Department of Health consolidation loan should also cover that differential in cost with minimal out-of-pocket cost to the port. I reported previously the county had thrown us a curveball because we haven't used that $100,000 in ARPA funds they've reserved for this project, yet wanted to possibly rescind its commitment for that money so they can use it in their 2024 budget. Both Commissioner Scott and I met with the county commissioners, and when we got them up to speed on exactly where we are in this process, they were very cordial and agreed not to rescind the commitment for the money. They did ask for a commitment from us that we would have that money obligated by June 30th of next year, which shouldn't be a problem. They also asked us to look into whether or not we need third-party appraisal of the carry system, but from what we've been able to discern and what the county administrator told us his research has found, it appears that won't be necessary. Allyn Pier Replacement Project. As you know, our options are to replace the entire pier with a completely new structure, leave the existing pilings, which effectively get the creosote out of the water as well as stops the deterioration of the pilings, or drive new pilings, which we'll need to do for the ones that are missing no matter what. Currently exploring the feasibility and useful life of all three options. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this just in a second. The bottom line is we don't know enough to make any decisions until we get either engineers' estimates or bids. And if we can't tap into federal funds for this, we'll put the RFP out and see what happens, as we're going to be required to solicit bids no matter what we decide anyway. One option I am exploring with our lobbyists is finding federal funding for replacing the entire structure, which I expect to cost somewhere between $5 and $7 million. Our realistic chances of getting that much out of the state are pretty remote. Our lobbyists and I met with Representative Derek Kilmer's staff and got an idea of what's involved in beginning the federal funding process, and we're working on the first steps. Dock repair. We've never received a bid from Marine Floats, firm that built the dock, so our insurer, Endurus, has hired AUS. That's the same firm that repaired the damage to the North Shore dock to do the work. They did a great job. The main problem at this point is a supply chain issue where the pedestals are concerned. The last timeline we were given for availability is 28 weeks, so we're looking for alternatives. Rogue Fabricators has come up with a design for a system of cables similar to what is used on the highways for guardrails. They asked for clarification from some of the federal government about whether or not this would be an acceptable solution, and weren't able to find anyone to say it wasn't. If so, it would be quick and easy for one person to install or take down in less than an hour. It would take a lot less space to store when not in use. Their proposal is on your agenda for discussion as it exceeds my spending authority. However, in talking with Jared from the owner of Rogue Fabricators, I don't understand exactly everything he wants to do there, and I'm wondering if you guys would be up for a presentation from him at the next meeting, because you know, I want to be sure we all understand what we're talking about here and how this is going to work.
Yeah, I think
So,
it's a good idea.
If I could chime in real quickly, I read the proposal. I would agree that we need to sit down and talk with the fabricator. That's my opinion.
Well, I think it makes sense because, you know, we don't even know what we don't know about his proposal and, you know, how he's going to make this work. And I'd actually like Don to be there as well, since he'd be the one that has to take it up, put it, you know,
Right.
take it down.
Yeah.
So, back to this upcoming comprehensive plan update. At our August 24th special meeting, you've all decided on the final list and the order of priority for the projects. put together the community survey using those guidelines, and it's on tonight's agenda for review and approval. I'll have fill in the blanks PDF copies ready for distribution this week. Probably not going to be this week, probably going to be Monday. And we'll have a copy of it on our website and Facebook page. I'll also ask our community partners like the Chamber, the EDC, and others to distribute it to their members for return to us. I'll also have copies available for you all to use for community outreach. Y'all said you wanted to go stand in front of the QFC with copies of it, so I'll have those ready. We have to have the final approval plan to RCO March 1st, 2024 to be considered for any future funding for their projects. Security camera deployment. Excuse me. I met with the contractor we've been talking with for several months and let's start over. Excuse me. I met with the contractor we've been talking with for several months on what's needed to redeploy the existing cameras we have and to get them active once again. I want to move forward a step at a time as we have the funds to do this, and this is the first step. The security camera funds recovery. We filed a case with the Kitsap County Small Claims Court for the balance of our claim against the previous security camera contractor. We already won a judgment for $5,000 in the first case and have identified 2 bank accounts we may be able to garnish. We'll go to court on this claim on October 11th. Kayak park. I'd asked RCO if we could convert the kayak park to include EV charging stations. After making us fill out numerous forms, complete an entire list of other things, we got an answer, and that answer is yes. They will allow us to do this, but with a laundry list of conditions. I'll be wading through that and start working on finding grant money. Sign issue, Don and I figured out what needs to be done electrically to use the sign we got from Kitsap County Fire District. We've ordered the replacement parts, basically both ballasts and 8 new fluorescent tubes plus a couple spares. Ballasts come in last week, tubes are supposed to be here this week. Oyster House. We met with Art Anderson and Eco Engineers to make sure everyone's on the same page about who needs to do what to keep this moving. Art Anderson, who did the original piling design, is working on the plans for what we need to do to relocate the building, cantilever it over the water, as well as an engineer's estimate for the cost of the construction. Eco Engineers is handling all the permitting. Requires a change in scope for the grants, and I've already submitted the necessary paperwork to our grant manager for this. Been approved for 1 grant, and we expect approval on the 2nd grant shortly. Representative Griffey has said he'll help us run interference with commerce if we need to. Sweetwater Park, the only thing new to report. Actually, that's not true. There's 2 things to report here. But we've taken down the remaining trail camera as the other 2 were stolen. I'm still trying to decide whether or not to upgrade these with ones that'll record video and send it remotely or not. That way if someone does steal them, we'll at least have a picture of them. The other thing, I spoke this morning at the Port of Hoodsport, and they had asked me to come and talk to them about my dog is bothering me here, asked me to come talk about the disc golf proposal that we had entertained. And they have put together a disc golf course. And I told them the main issue that we had with this was how do we deal with the danger trees? Well, they have a solution to that, what they did. And she's supposed to get me information on how they did it. It didn't cost the port any money. And so she's going to get me everything to do with it about who did the work, what they did, They sold some of the timber. They did some chipping with it for pulp and sold that. And the port actually made a little money on it. So I think that was a good thing. So anyway, and then finally, Kitsap All Ports, October 30th, I think it is.
20th.
October 20th, I'm sorry. You all are invited, of course. And that's my report. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions, commissioners?
Pardon?
Any questions?
Oh.
No? Okay,
No,
moving along then to...
I just would like,
Go ahead.
Thank you. I'd like to, I just want to reiterate, I didn't have a chance to say it, that, yeah, I'd like to see a presentation from road fabricators. It just seems like an awful lot of money. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it is, but I don't understand exactly how it's gonna work. I want you all to understand it as well before we start talking about that kind of money.
yeah, I would love to
Yeah,
have that
thank you.
presentation as well. Okay, moving along then to new business. Discussion about adding the administrative fee to tickets written by our security officer. Larry or Travis? Who first?
Actually, I think that's a Travis item.
Okay.
There you go, Travis.
I'll come back.
You're on.
So I would say the greatest issue with me writing a ticket is that nobody takes it seriously. There is no repercussions for anyone not paying their ticket, just a letter in the mail asking them to pay. So if there is an administrative cost that the office is incurring, Leanne has got a lot of work on her plate. And to go after a $5 fee or a $15 launch fee because somebody just decided not to pay it, not a wise use of the office's time. And if we're going to enforce payment on our facilities, then there has to be a repercussion in a monetary sense. Or we're just going to keep doing the same thing we've done for years, and she'll spend during the summers 4-5 hours a week maybe just wasting away trying to get no funds. And some of these people pay, and some of them just get ignored and they just go away because there's no checks and balances to force them to pay. I mean, it's not like we're going to strong arm them for the money, but we need to have we could, lean your vehicle or do these other things that would cost us money, but we could tack all that money on if they're going to, not pay for these tickets. So it's usually just one here or one there. The people who come and stay for 3 or 4 days in a row, they end up paying afterwards. But it's that office time that's really, I can see it making it hard for both Larry and Leanne to keep a fluid office when we're chasing down $5 here, $15 there. There should be at least some type of administrative fee that goes, and they see it on the ticket, if I don't deal with this, I'm going to pay $150 more, or whatever you agree upon, so that at least there's some, I guess, so the time that's being used in the office isn't just going away, because it's the public's money in the end.
Yeah.
So.
Let's say, Travis, on the tickets you issue, are there any RCWs that?
I believe there is an RCW on the bottom. I don't remember exactly what it says. I don't have them in front of me.
I think we need to look at that.
We created them with the thought that we have the port has a criminalized code.
So I used to do it. I used to do years ago for the Port of Allyn what you're doing, and we did have an RCW on there, and I don't recall where it went from there. I mean, you're only going to get so much bang for the effort, but it has to have something on there that would be.
I believe there is an RCW on the bottom of the ticket.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, it'd be good to talk to the local sheriff's department, just to make sure that we're lining things up and we're not guessing at that, just to be proper. So anyway, yeah.
How about if y'all are open to the idea of it, let me research it and bring something back next month.
That'd be
Okay.
good.
I don't think I appreciate it. We can bring it back next month, but I do agree with administrative costs, because if you look at every civil infraction, there's administrative costs that goes back to either the city, the county, or the state. If I were to write a speeding ticket, a portion of that speeding ticket goes back to the municipality that's going to do it. So, or handle it. So Travis, I agree. I've seen our tickets. I know our tickets, and I would agree a 50% administrative fee, because that's what they're doing in most cities and counties on our traffic, and even gross misdemeanors. They're handling these things as an administrative fee. So I have no problem. But yeah, Larry, let's bring it back next month. But I agree with Travis. Let's get her done. So.
Okay,
I'm sure I have a picture here, but I'll come back when I find it so I can give you the exact RCW, because I take a picture of a lot of my tickets.
yeah, I'll come back with a recommendation for what the fee should be.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure we have that right, and then also the administrative fee does need to be in order. I totally agree.
You know, I think we want the administrative fee to be punitive if they don't pay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I said 50%, because 50% is what most counties and cities are charging municipal agencies. So when I was a police chief, I wrote a ticket. It would go to the city of Lakewood. They would charge us 15% off what that ticket would cost, just to handle their administrative costs.
Right.
So I think that's a good cause. I think it's smart that we're doing this. So.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you, Travis.
Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you, Travis.
Then we'll hear from you, Larry, about this for next month, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, moving along, the discussion and approval of the citizen survey for the comprehensive scheme of harbor improvements. Do you need any, I mean, you've been working on it already. What kind of changes were there? Or do you want to table that?
What it is I took the stuff from the August 24th meeting and put them on, you know, just moved everything around the way that you all said you wanted it.
Okay,
Yeah. If that works for you guys, we'll get going on the fill in the blank ones and, you know, the handouts for you.
okay.
Yeah,
So,
and,
Commissioners,
so,
But I think we need a motion.
go ahead.
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Ted, what were you going to say? Go ahead.
I was going to make a motion, but I'll withdraw until Commissioner Sheridan.
Okay, I'll make a motion. Is there any more discussion? I was gonna make a motion and then I had a question.
Oh, go ahead,
I
John.
mean,
Go
okay,
ahead.
well, okay. Sorry to interrupt. It is hard when we're doing Zoom. We interrupt each other so easily, but apologize for that. So the brochures, Larry, are we gonna, are you looking at trying to get on that so that, because
Yeah,
we got,
I'm already
we got
on
the
that. I know what you're talking about. I've got the pictures organized, and I'm just
Okay.
waiting on Wet Apple to get a break to put them together for me. So,
Yeah, no, because that's part of reaching out is like, this is who we are and this is our plan over here.
I would like you all to have the survey, and it'll have like a cover sheet on the back of it or whatever, and then to have the brochure if you want them. I'd like you to have both.
That's perfect. Thanks, Larry. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to have them,
So I'll make a motion.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go.
Well, I just would like to have those done before we have our meet and greet, but approval of the survey, let's move forward. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to move forward on that.
Oh, second.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
All right?
So moved. Okay, discussion about the rogue fabricator proposal. I think we kind of did talk about that, about having a meeting or having a proposal.
Yeah.
Yeah, just table the proposal to the next meeting and see if he can either come to the meeting or Zoom in and explain it a little bit better so we all understand it.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
Okay. I just got that today, so, you know, or yesterday.
Okay, yeah.
And sorry, Commissioner Scott, I just have a question. Maybe we could, how do we get 40 feet with a vehicle, are we allowed to drive a vehicle on the pier? Do you think it's sturdy enough? I was looking at the proposal and it said, drive a vehicle 40 feet from the work site. And I'm just going, okay, do I want to really sign off on that?
Yeah.
I think it's a great question.
And that's something I just want to make sure that we're not, I don't want to see a vehicle and,
Well, not our vehicle anyway.
no, it's not our.
Well, we don't want the
It's
liability.
actually, it's within 40 feet of the site location. I don't suppose they're talking about all the way down there. I don't know. I guess it's a good qualifier.
An ATV would be okay there?
Yes, I think it would be.
Yeah.
ATV would be great with a trailer. Yeah.
You know, I don't think we want to take a truck out there.
No, not yet. No.
No, I don't think so either.
I had one other thing too, that I sent you all the stuff that I got from Honduras late this afternoon. There was the AUS diving report. There's some pictures of the damage that Honduras is not going to be responsible for. And, I just wanted you all to see that. I need some clarification. I got a bid from AUS for the insurance and a total cost of fixing everything. So I want to be sure that that's their bid for fixing the stuff that isn't covered. But I wasn't able to get a hold of them this afternoon, so.
Okay.
But I wanted you all to be aware of that. So you might take a look at the pictures because they're pretty telling.
Yeah, I looked at them, and also the Crux diving condition report. We definitely need some work done, a lot of work done on that. The whole
Yeah, we do.
the whole thing.
Yeah. So the other thing I'm gonna do is, I've been talking with Holly, and her next question is gonna be, what should we be looking for in the next session of the legislature? And I think a good answer is money for this.
Mm-hmm.
And
That is a good answer.
it's a supplemental budget, but if we could fix all this stuff, and have a temporary Band-Aid for, the next 5 or 10 years, we might be able to get by for under $100,000.
You have to get something done. It's in pretty bad shape.
Yeah, and we may be able to get, for that small amount of money, we might be able to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'll be meeting with her again next week about a couple other things, so that'll be in our discussion as well.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. Anything else?
I would just like to say I will be attending Oktoberfest. If anybody else, any of the other county commissioners are going to be there, we probably need to list it.
When is
But,
that?
I think that's a wonderful event. I'm looking forward to it with Dana. So, yep.
When
I
is
think we should have Ian notice that no matter what.
Yeah, when is that, by the way?
Yeah.
It's the last Saturday of September, Commissioner Scott, and I just got the emails today, and I just thought, well, we need to show a presence, or somebody should show a presence.
Yeah, September 30th, I think, correct? Probably?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
Yeah.
excellent.
I'll tell her tomorrow to notice that.
Okay.
Okay. And the other thing is I want to thank Commissioner Scott for being there. I really appreciate you holding down the fort for the rest of us. I just thank you enough. So,
Well, thank you, of course.
and you did it last month too, so thank you.
Absolutely, my pleasure. My privilege. Okay, moving along, we have public comment, and I don't see anybody other than Diedrich and Travis. And
I could tell you all what our ticket actually says with the RCW code if you like.
yeah, go ahead, Travis. He has some information for us.
So our ticket in the middle of the section after the fees are tabulated up and totals says failure to pay listed use fees may result in a fine of up to $1,000 and or 90 days in jail. RCW, small print, so I can't exactly say, but it looks like 5234 190, and that's in
I think it's the
parentheses.
same one that's on the sign.
Yeah, probably. And then it goes on to explain that this is in addition to office expenses accrued from acquiring said fees for use of Port of Allyn facilities. Failure to contact and pay the total amount due may also result in a lien or impounding of the vehicle or vessel involved. So it's pretty covered there, but it is all filled with may. So
No teeth.
no teeth, no, unfortunately. So yeah, there we are.
Thank you, Travis.
Yeah.
Thank you, Travis. And the other things I'll tell the commissioner, I am going to the environmental seminar next week.
Oh,
So-
excellent.
I wish, I'm pretty excited about this, so,
Good.
Yeah.
Now, where is that going to be? Couldn't remember.
in Tacoma.
Oh, okay.
Tacoma. And the last thing I will say as a good of order is that North Mason High School did a back-to-school event, which was absolutely amazing. Is that they had nonprofits, fire department, government agencies, just a back-to-school event a couple of weeks ago, just to welcome our kids back to school. And Dana Rosenbach did, and her staff did an amazing job. And just these kids and their families were just had smiles on their faces. And we were, in another capacity, we were just handing out back-to-school supplies. And kids were just had smiles on their faces. So I wish other school districts would do or emulate what they did, because it was a great event.
Fantastic. Also, good of the order, we got a thank you letter from Deputy Sperling, Mason County Sheriff.
Chief
Sorry, what?
Sperling.
Thank you. Oh, yes, that's right. Sorry. Supporting the MSCO Volunteer 25th Anniversary Celebration. So thank you to Chief Sperling. Okay, anything else for the good of the order?
I have a quick one.
Okay?
Ted was talking about not having any internet. There's a coffee shop opened up, and they said, this is just like 1973. We don't have any internet. So guy went in there, paid 10 cents for a cup of coffee, and lit up a cigarette.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, that was a joke.
I got it.
I know.
It took me a little bit, but I got it.
So on that note,
Okay,
I'll make a motion to adjourn, and thank you, Commissioner Scott, again, and I appreciate you all, so.
okay.
So one more thing, if I could add one more thing. So in the meeting chat, maybe I missed something, you all figured this out already. Kirk from read.ai, it's a solicitation that they generate meeting summaries to make meetings more effective and efficient. So that's what that probably was. It's in the meeting chat.
Oh, okay.
Are you following me?
Well,
Yes, I did see that.
I don't get to
I'm
see
just-
it.
Okay.
I did see that.
yeah,
But I think we just, Diedrich is a recorder. We just leave it with Diedrich, and we don't need to do this. Others,
I don't-
I agree.
No,
I'm just,
yeah, I saw that, Commissioner Sure.
Recording is a bad idea.
Yeah, I agree.
I do too.
Okay,
Just point it out. All right. Thank you.
thank you, everybody, for attending. Meeting is adjourned.
All right, have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
You too.